What if I told you that if you will make yourself a little bit uncomfortable in your life, you will feel much more alive and much more present with your life? In this video, you will find out how to do this, and it's super simple, so watch until the very end. I have inspired for this video from Czech person, from Czech coach, who is inspiring me and a lot of managers, CEOs, or athletes, like really pro athletes, how they could make their life a little bit better. Because, you know, he was saying this example that he works with these CEOs and they go to the store and they were always dreaming about these 20,000 or 40,000 grand watch, and they just take it on and put it on when they buy it in a Cartier or I don't know, somewhere. And then they go down the escalators and they look at the watch and say, is this it? Is this really it? And I realized during that video, and when I practiced it on myself, that it's much greater than buying expensive sports car or expensive watch or anything, to do something mini tiny in your life which can give you much greater feeling that you are actually alive. People would say every day you get cold shower, you have to be there 3 minutes and so on. But how about you would change your life just by gently making your shower gently cooler? You don't have to have absolutely warm shower how you're used to, you know, you shower yourself super comfortable and then you make it a little bit cooler. I tried it yesterday and I felt very uncomfortable. Even though it was slightly cooler, I was like, oh, I still crave to shower me with warmer shower, you know, I'm not that warm and it doesn't feel that cozy in the shower and so on. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just try this experiment because it makes me actually to be in my present moment, because I am observing that I want to be having it warmer, the shower, and I am not thinking about what am I going to do next after the shower and what did I not do today and stuff like that. So it is very beneficial. Or if I wanted to have something sweet, I didn't take anything sweet. I took something which was not sweetened with sugar. And I was thinking, okay, so I'll just hack it a little bit. I don't have to go totally cold turkey with and not buy me any good like treats or something, but I'll just go no sugar. So I bought something with chicory syrup. It was okay, but it didn't give me that super rush as sugar does. But if you do these slight changes in your life and you are very conscious about these choices, because you know normally you would go and have something with sugar or warm shower and you would go in your cozy bed afterwards and your life is, or our life is very comfortable. And we are actually, when we are so much in a comfort, we are still raising the bar of comfort and we are never uncomfortable because we think it's not loving to us. And then we have to buy these expensive things. We have to consume much more. We have to eat much more of that chocolate or sugar because we are still raising bar up and up and up.
And we will actually also get more annoyed easily, you know, when we, for example, don't have it warm now in the room and we can get super annoyed and frustrated. Oh my gosh, the heating doesn't work. What's going on? Why are we having to experience this? But it's actually a great way to practice this discomfort, because those billionaires and millionaires who just buy themselves whatever they want, whenever they want, nothing gets exciting anymore. For them, it's not exciting anymore to have the 3 Michelin star food, because they've already done it dozens of times. So it's not that special anymore. For them to go on a first class flight is nothing. It means nothing to them. It's just normal, and after some time they also go back into their program and they maybe go back to complaining and judging and being resentful and angry. But when we have certain discomfort, sometimes we can really appreciate something else. Because this is also what made them in the first place to want to be abundant, that they wanted to be wealthy, because they didn't want to live in that limitation that they couldn't allow themselves to have good food, or they had to travel by bus instead of by plane, you know. these things really encourage you to move out of that and live a greater life. But we still need, at all times, even no matter how abundant we are, we still need some discomfort.
Maybe sometimes people think that they have everything, and the discomfort could be biggest blessing, because, for example, those billionaires, they have everything, they can have everything, and then they don't have the loved one next to them. And that's the biggest discomfort, and that's the biggest blessing. Because if they would have everything with that loved one next to them, which I wish to everybody, to have some person next to you who you can share life with, but if you don't have that, it's maybe you can consider it as a blessing, because sometimes if you have everything and you are not uncomfortable anywhere, you could create a problem in your life. I am currently reading The Big Leap from Guy Hendricks, and he's talking about our upper limit problems. Basically, we are used to having some struggles in our life to just keep us stuck in our reality, because if
at a certain energetic frequency.
Yeah, if you are having too much money, then all of a sudden you can get sick, or you can get hurt, or whatever. So you just sustain your upper limit problem. You don't deserve too much. So I'll share about that book later.
For me, it's also a thing that I practice is to replace my screen with either nothing or with reading a book. It's also uncomfortable to not have this constant stimulation and the dopamine, which is super easy and super cheap, but I can get actually much more from it. And then later when I get on my screen, I can actually enjoy it, and okay, I just sit down and I enjoy it for some moments.
We did 2 days ago, we did this experiment, and I said to Raphael, hey, let's not touch our phone. Touch it with your hands until 12 o'clock in the afternoon, because I don't mind being on my phone, but the touching the thing, why do I have to touch every day the same thing as the first thing in the morning? No, I didn't touch it when I was 10 or something, I didn't have my cell phone, so why would I have to touch it every day first thing in the morning? And it's actually really cool. Or imagine that.
And it feels a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit unnatural. I can't even check it for the time. It's just somewhere in the corner.
No touching. Just not be on a screen. Forget about that. Don't touch that thing. If you can figure out how to not touch it and still be on the phone, it's your thing. It's great. But just don't touch it, because you don't want to get this for your body. Your body doesn't want to hold it, and so on. And you can practice it also before you go to bed. And it was actually cool for us, because we could
there's the one benefit of actually not being at the screen and being more present and being more in your own space than in somebody else's space.
And then
that was the one benefit.
Yeah, and then we could play with what's next. We don't touch this. And Raphael was looking at some testimonial from person who is being bored.
Yeah, I watched also a video about boredom and how important it is. So this is like one benefit from it. It's really beneficial for us, and specifically with our consumption with the screen and the phones. But also the other thing is that we are a little bit uncomfortable, and we are doing it consciously. I feel it's just creating a reset in our brain.
I think it's really cool to not do same things every single day, because you grew up, certainly people who are watching are over 30 here. So most of our subscribers are over 30, and they didn't have cell phone when they were growing up next to their bed and the last thing before they fell asleep. And now we feel like we are too much connected to this, and it feels to me a little bit weird. Like, don't you have a feeling that it's a little bit strange about it? We have amazing technology now on our fingertips, in our hands, but do we really have to cuddle with it that much? So think about it, process it for yourself, like really stop and just look in your phone. Are you holding your phone right now in your hands? just put it down and you can watch us from the back, you know, you don't have to touch it. Because I have a feeling since the screen started, you know, when you have to touch screen with your own finger, I have a feeling that I'm donating there my life force, my life energy. Otherwise it doesn't work.
It's like you point at something.
Yeah, and you are just like basically connecting to it, and you are, this is my feeling, you know, since I had to change the telephone, which I had those keyboard on it, and I started to have this phone. I was so unhappy to have these kind of touch screens. And then I have it, yeah. So I was thinking that I'll use the stylus, but it's also empowered by your energy. So you still use this heat, this electricity. I don't know how it's working.
Yeah, but it's true. Like when we do the healings on Dr. Joe Dispenza's event, it's also like you're rubbing your hands and you feel this electricity within you. And we use our hands, we turn them around to deliver the healing energy, or our energy, that it can flow through us, because it is coming through our hands and our fingers.
Yeah. So sometimes I'm just trying to hold my phone. Can you give me my phone? I'm trying to hold it like this. I'm having here this thing, so I don't touch it. I have this here. Or when I watch videos, I'm usually watching it like this when I'm laying down. And I'm trying to not really touch it, at least this, you know. It's my personal feeling. I didn't read it anywhere. It's not woo-woo. It's nothing. It's just personal experience. That it's just like, I'm donating my energy here into this. And yes, it's true. We are giving to these phones, to these machines, to these boxes, a lot of energy.
And what I learned from being with Petra for 6 years is that when she has a feeling about something, we better start to think about it. Because it's very probable that maybe in 2 to 3 years from now, people will start to say the same things.
Yeah.
She's sometimes a little bit ahead of the curve.
Yeah, maybe. And one person said yesterday on Instagram, I watched amazing reel, and a person said, if you don't need to have your phone next to you, you can turn it off, absolutely off for the night, if you don't have to sleep next to it. And if I need alarm, he said, I am turning on the airplane mode all the time, but the best is turn it totally off. And I was also watching other video about dogs who are like working as a drug dogs, or they are finding batteries and so on, and they said that the dog can smell the battery from the phone in the whole room, in a big hall. So imagine what you subconsciously program yourself when you sleep next to this high-powered battery in your room, in your bedroom. So imagine if we will start to put our phones away from our bedrooms and turning them off, and we buy normal alarm clock, for example. I was thinking about it. And
they have really annoying ringtones.
Yes,
and really loud.
Yes, some of them they do, but maybe you can find better ones already.
I was searching for that already. Yeah, I also wanted to have that. So we also play meditations often.
Yeah, we do, but just remember to just at least put it on a flight mode when you go to sleep, so it's not still searching for Wi-Fi or phone or data or stuff like that, and the communication is a little bit prohibited there. So it's great. So
we went from
discomfort.
So we went from discomfort to our phone addictions, the dopamine, to the side effects of electronics in our life. And we really want to come back to that point once more to encourage you to play a little bit with discomfort, with little things that you can consciously adjust. Petra was suggesting to reduce the temperature in the shower a little bit, or be away from the phone for a bit longer. Just some things to keep us a little bit in the discomfort, because later when we are just always in comfort, that's not a good life either. That's not how we want to live either.
It's called hormesis, and David Sinclair talks about it a lot when we are a little bit in a stress, and the body very much welcomes this kind of tiny stress. So it's not like I go to the really cold shower or really cold bath and then you can have some bladder issues and so on, or you just do some tiny teeny weeny
And it makes you
changes.
feel good when you do it.
Yeah.
It always makes you feel good afterwards.
So your task basically after watching this video is you think about how you will make yourself a little bit uncomfortable.
Share it down in the comments. We're
Yes.
curious how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And of course, don't ever, ever, ever forget that you're unlimited. Thank you so much for being with us today. And if you would like to share some more time with us, we also have this video here for you.